Hello, and welcome back to Broerman Farmstead. It's the week before Thanksgiving, and there's not a whole lot going on at the farm right now. I was hoping to be plowing and showing you guys that, but we got rain yesterday, and it's too wet now. So I've been working on some of the projects around the farm, and we'll probably show you some of that in this video. I've been having to get some stuff done in the office for the logistics business, so I haven't had as much time to work on some of these projects as I'd like to. But since I'd last shown you guys the barn project, redoing that wall and putting that water tank in, I did get, oh, that door didn't shut. There we go. I did get a fair amount of work done. I got part of 2 of the wooden walls put up on top of the concrete. And where the hydrant is, I got that filled in and got concrete poured. Also this last weekend, my father-in-law came over and helped me. We used my neighbor's backhoe, thank you the Warners, for letting us use that to dig up one of the water lines in front of the barn so we could run water back in to front old milk room on the barn. I started redoing that room probably about 3 or 4 years ago and stopped working on it because at that time we were really renovating it so that we could make milk bottles up for calves really well, but we stopped having bottle calves, so there really wasn't much need for that room. We got some future plans for the farm that we'll work through early this next spring, and that room's going to be pretty important for some of it. So I wanted to get a water hydrant put in that room. So we dug up, found the water line in front of the barn, and plumbed in a hydrant. Right now, one of the drivers is hauling a load of cottonseed up from North Carolina to a local dairy farm, and he needed a little help spotting, getting him back in, that way he doesn't damage anything. So we're gonna go over there real quick, help him with that. So while I was over there helping the driver, he let me know that his electrical plug for his tarp cord had corroded away, and so he can go get loaded with DDGs. After he gets done finishing and loading that cottonseed, we're going to fix this cord up for him real quick and then get moving on to our stuff. So I'm just taking some sandpaper and cleaning. You can see I cleaned a lot of the corrosion out of the holes already. Did it for that end and also the big ports where it's actually plugging in to the truck. Need to cut them off, strip them back, and put them in that plug. There, and the truck just showed up at the farm. So we'll get this cord slapped back together for him and get him on his way. Now we got the driver Richard all taken care of. He's gonna go load some DDGs, and head back down to North Carolina to pick up another load of cottonseed for another dairy farmer. So this tractor and setup for this plow, a lot of you guys commented on that last video that I needed to widen that tire out. And after looking back at the book, you guys were right. There was two options I had. I either widen the tires out, or the non-John Deere way of doing it, the way a lot of farmers around here did do, because I did talk to some other guys, is they just moved the hitch all the way over on the plow. I ended up moving the hitch all the way to the side on the plow to get what I wanted out of it. But as for what the book says about setting up the tractor, it does have a section in here for rear wheel settings. And the measurements are from the center line of the tractor to the inside of the tire. As for a small update on the project we've been working on in here, I got wooden walls put up here. Down there, I put 6x6s on the corner to mount a gate on. And I got 2x6s spaced out 5.5 inches. I just took a 2x6, put it between them as I was putting them on, nailed them on. I've got the hydrant concreted in and a drain put in the floor. I have 1 inch of slope from either side to the drain. That way the water doesn't pool up and drains down for anything that might spill out of the hydrant, filling a bucket, doing anything. Since we'll have this water tank in the barn for the cattle on this side, I don't see having to use this hydrant much anymore, because that's how I filled the water tank in the past. So I don't know how much this will get used, but we'll have it set up nice for it. I still need to pull my electric through my conduit, bring it up to the wall over here for the heaters on this water tank, and get that set. And get that set before it decides to freeze. So here's that other wall. I am going to build a door on a hinge here and then do one on the opposite side. We're probably going to load cattle up over here in this small area through this big door I got to my right. So when we're doing that and we're loading cattle up, we can shut that door and be a hard, nice barrier. And then recently in the front room of the barn, it's a block room. I emptied this out years ago, put metal on the ceiling and some lights. And I was working on redoing this room for those calves. I got a hydrant put in. My cousin Alan, who has the concrete asphalt company and also the semis, gave me this sink for free, and it works awesome for this application. I yet have to get a water heater put in here and get this plumbed up. And eventually, I'd like to get these windows put back in so we have natural lighting in this room. I've got a lot of big plans for this room that hopefully will come to fruition within the next 3 to 6 months. So stay tuned to see what all happens here. Should hopefully be a lot of very exciting stuff. The pigs have been doing well in this pen. They're rooting up through here. This doesn't have a concrete floor in it, so they're rooting through old bedding and some dirt here. They've got that water on that far wall. They're pretty excited. Got a lot of energy. I've been feeding them a little bit of alfalfa hay as a supplement to get some nutrients into them and hopefully maybe give them some of that pastured pig flavor that they'd get if they were outside. Bryce of Kaler Family Farms actually showed me a book that he had from his grandpa from years ago that talked about feeding pigs. And in that book, it talked about feeding them and feeding them hay as well, to help some of those nutrients that isn't found in their common feed of the day. You know, at that point, guys were just feeding them ear corn or maybe some beans or oats in there. And right now, I'm only feeding these guys ear corn. I don't have any soybean meal for them. I don't have a finished pig ration. So we're throwing this hay at them, and hopefully that helps out. But so far, they seem to be doing really well. They're growing well, and I'm happy with them. This group of calves has had it pretty rough. We ended up losing another calf the other week, and I had the vet come out and do an autopsy on it. The lungs on it were heavily inflamed and had pockets of a lot of infection. It had pneumonia really bad, so bovine respiratory disease for sure. But this group of calves, we've been fighting respiratory diseases on and off for 7 weeks now. And when the vet came out, because of our prolonged time dealing with all these respiratory diseases in this one group, he suspects that one of these might have BVD, bovine viral diarrhea, which, as he explained to me, is also a respiratory disease, but one of its common symptoms is diarrhea. He seems to believe that one of these calves, when they were with their mother yet in utero before they were born, that the mom may have gotten BVD and passed it along to the calf, giving the calf immunity to it. He suspects, though, that if that is the case, that one of these calves is a carrier for it, is constantly reinfecting the rest of the group. So we went and we took samples of each of these calves and sent them out to the lab to be tested to see if any of them do in fact have BVD, and if they do, we will have to do something about that. What we do and how we deal with that, I'm not sure yet. Losing 2 calves already isn't good, and if that is the case, we're probably going to lose another one. I asked him what happens if we don't do that and we just keep trying to treat these, and he said probably throughout the rest of the winter we'd lose a couple more. So we're going to do our best. We're going to find out which one that is, if in fact that is what's going on, and we'll probably have to get rid of that one, just for the health of the rest of these calves. So as part of the treatment, the vet had prescribed that I put this in the water tank every time I fill it. Calves will drink it down, and we'll put more of this in. 15 little cups of this is how much I need for the size of water tank that this is. All right, I got that put in. Now I've got to go get the water hose, stick that in here, and fill this up. Don't worry, we'll just stick that in there. We'll go outside and turn the hydrant on. While we're waiting for that water tank to fill, we might as well just go get a couple bales and throw them down and feed these calves. Oh, let's see if we can get all these to fall down or not. Pull that one out of the way. Oh, nope. Just a precarious stack. We've been feeding mostly in the barns, so I've made a big dent in all the hay that we had put in here this summer. We've got 149 round bales outside in that tube. I'd love to start feeding these calves and those 2 older heifers. And I did put one in for the older heifers. But with these guys being as sick as they have, I've had to take them off pasture. Pasture wasn't that great at this point. It's getting muddy. There isn't much out there to eat anymore. But I can't get them out to my bale feeder. My bale feeder's outside. I made it. It's custom. It's wood. Put the bales in, they slide down. Cattle always have the ability to eat off of it. But I can't feed them on that right now. So I've been feeding them these little bales, and we're burning through these pretty quick. So hopefully we can get these little calves straightened out in the next couple weeks, if not the next month, so I can get them outside more and get them on some round bales to help prolong these small bales up in the barn. When I'm feeding and working with the livestock, I like to record on my phone what I've done for them that day. How many bales they're getting, corn, bedding, kind of a rolling inventory. Yeah, as I'm using it, I'm recording it in And also if I notice anything that's going on, if there's condition changes or things like that. So what I've got set up here is we'll do today's date. Choose feeding time. It is still morning. Bunks 6 and 7. It's our calves. Got small bales. 2 of them. Whoa, that's 3. I'll put 2 in. 2. We didn't give them any grain. Was the pen pack removed? We didn't do anything with the pen pack or bedding. We'll just do next. And the general condition, we'll do about 3 for these because they are sick. Tags, I haven't noticed anybody specifically really doing anything or anything I really want to record other than the fact that we already know that this group is sick. So I'll submit this. That's a Google form I made up. It goes right to my Google Docs. And in there, every time I record, it goes in a little spreadsheet. And I can total up out of there automatically how much hay I've used, straw I've used, corn and grain I've used by the pounds. It's only as good as the information I give it. That way, throughout the year, I can get a good idea of how much I'm actually using and if we're doing well or not, and maybe give me an idea of how much hay or product I need to be making and saving for the next year. Now that I've put this new hay in here, quite a few of them have come up and want to start eating it. I don't have a whole lot more for you guys. It's been slow around here. Like I said, I wish I would have been plowing. I would have showed you guys that this week, but that's just gonna have to wait for another video. The winter time can get kind of boring around here. Just feeding cows every day, making sure that they're well taken care of. I was hoping to show you guys some plowing in this video, but because of the rain, it's gonna have to hold off. Hopefully over this winter, we can show you working on some more projects. Hopefully redoing that 4010 and working on some of these tractors, getting them fixed up in a little bit better condition than they are now. We'll see. We'll see what this winter holds. Who knows? Maybe we'll even be building some stuff later this winter and into the spring. You'll just have to stay tuned and watch week after week to find out what's going on. But hey, that's it for today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We can do a lot here, but we can't grow this channel without your help. Thanks, and have a good day.